Hello children, today's our topic is metals and non-metals. Children, last year you had learnt about elements. There are around 118 elements. Out of these 118 elements, some are metals, some are non-metals, and some are metalloids. Okay. What are metals? Children, metals are defined as elements which form positive ions. Okay. They contain 1, 2 or 3 valency electrons. Example of this is sodium, potassium. These are positive ions. Calcium. Okay. Non-metals, they are defined as elements which form negative ions. Okay. And examples are chlorine. Okay. Chlorine, oxygen, and there are many others. What are metalloids? Children, some elements are having properties of metals as well as of non-metals. We call them metalloids. Example of metalloids are silicon, okay, carbon, arsenic, germanium, etc. Okay, elements with 4 valency electrons are normally metalloids. And now next, some metals are noble gases. Okay, some metals are what? Noble gases. They, I'm going to write here. They cannot be the noble gases with 8 valency electron. Like metalloids, they are having 4, and noble gases, they have 8 valency electrons. They are non-reactive. Okay, they don't have any ions, neither positive nor negative. Example, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and so on. Okay, now we are going to discuss about occurrence of metals and non-metals. Occurrence of metals. Children, metals, they are reactive. Some metals are very reactive. They found in like earth crust in the form of ore. What are highly reactive metals? They are sodium, calcium, and they are found in the form of their, like in the compound form in the earth crust, like sodium nitrate, sodium chloride, calcium carbonate, magnesium carbonate in the form of ore. Okay. Some metals, they are non-reactive. They are highly reactive. Some are non-reactive, like iron, gold, silver. Okay. Some are like some metals such as I am sorry, not iron, like some metals like gold and silver. Okay, gold and silver. Gold and silver, they are found in gold, silver, platinum, they are found in free state. They are what? Some metals like platinum, gold and silver, They are not very reactive, or we can say they are non-reactive. They found in free state in nature, and we call them noble metals. What do we call them? Noble metals. So children, you remember that I told you noble gases, some gases which are not reactive, and like helium, neon, argon, krypton and all. And here I have told you noble metals, platinum, gold and silver. Okay. And these they found in compound form. So if we want like iron, copper, they are also reactive and they are found in compound form. So how we get the pure metal? By the process of metallurgy. Okay. So this is, now we are going to discuss occurrence of non-metals. Occurrence of non-metals. Okay. Hydrogen, first we are going to discuss about hydrogen. Is the most abundant element in the universe. It is it makes up the sun and other stars. On Earth, hydrogen mainly occurs in combined form as a constituent of water. Okay. On Earth, it is found in the form of water. Okay. And around, we can say 11% by weight. If we take the weight of water, out of this 11% is hydrogen. Okay. And it is also present in petroleum, natural gas, coal, clay and all animals and plants. Next we are coming to the nitrogen. Children, you know nitrogen is present 78% in the atmosphere. Okay. And if we say it is occur in our atmosphere in free state, if we say about mass, so around 76% by mass. If we take the mass of the all the gases, in that we will find 76% by mass is what? Nitrogen. Okay. By volume 78%. Now come to the oxygen. Oxygen is the most abundant element in the Earth's crust. It occurs in the free state in the atmosphere. All you know, by volume how much? 21%. But if we talk about mass, it is 23%. By mass, it is 23%. Okay. Now come to the carbon. It is also present in water. Oxygen is also present in water, and it forms how much? If we say by weight, so 11% hydrogen and 89% is oxygen in water. Okay. By weight is 11% of hydrogen and 89% of oxygen in water. Now we are coming to the carbon. Carbon, it is in the free state, carbon occur as graphite, diamond and coal in the coal. Diamond and graphite are pure form of carbon, and coal contain around 60 to 90% of carbon. Okay. And it also present in earth crust in the form of carbonate, like calcium carbonate. In seashell, it is found in the form of calcium carbonates. Okay. Carbon is the central element of all the living matter. Like children, protein, everything is, what is the important part is, that is carbon. Okay. So we say carbon is the central element of all living matter. Now come to metalloid silicon. Silicon is the second most abundant element in the earth crust. It does not occur in the free state. It is found in the form of silicon oxide, and we call it silica or silicates. The most common form of silica is sand. Okay, it's found in sand. Now next we are going to discuss about the noble gas. Already I told you. Extraction of non-metals and metal from their sources is very important. Non-metals so obtained help in the production of many useful chemicals. Okay, non-metals, when we get it, like silica and all, they are very important in some, they are very important chemicals, useful chemicals. Now properties of metals and non-metals. First we will take properties of metals. Metals, first I will take physical properties. Okay, physical properties of metals. There are many physical properties. One by one I am going to discuss. First is luster. Luster means they shine. Maximum metals they shine except potassium and sodium. Okay, they don't have lusters. Now we are coming to the non-metal also as well. I am going to discuss non-metal also physical properties along with this. Non-metals, they are not lustrous except some exceptions are there like graphite and iodine. Second is we are going to discuss physical state. Physical state, all metals they are generally they are solid. Okay, generally all metals they are solid in nature. Exception is there, that is what? Mercury. Mercury is found in liquid state at room temperature. Now come to the non-metal, physical state of non-metals. They found in solid, liquid and gaseous form. In all three forms. Solids are like carbon and sulfur, liquids bromine, water, and gases are oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. Okay. Now we are coming to the third, hardness and strength. Strength. All metals are generally hard and strong. Some exception I told you like sodium and potassium, they are soft, we can cut them by knife. And non-metals generally they are soft. Okay, except diamond, it is the hardest non-metal. Okay, a form of carbon. It is the hardest substance known till now. Now we are coming to the next property, physical property, that is what? Malleability and ductility. What is this malleability? Like if we beat metals, we can turn them into thin sheets. Okay, the property of metals by which they can be beaten into thin sheet is known as malleability. Okay, so metals are malleable but non-metals are brittle. Brittle means if we beat them, they will break. Okay, that is why you have seen copper sheets, aluminium sheets. Aluminium foil is a very good example, and iron sheets you have seen. Okay, children. So what I told you, these are malleable. Metals are malleable and non-metals are not non-malleable. Okay. Now we are coming to the third one, ductility. Sorry, next one, ductility. Okay, what is ductility? Ductility is the property of metals by which they can be drawn into thin wires, is known as ductility. You have seen copper wire conduct electricity. Okay, and we cannot, like non-metals, they are not ductile, they are brittle. Now we are coming to the conductivity. Next is what? Conductivity. Conductivity. Conductivity means metals, they are very good conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, all you know, you have learnt in class 7 that copper wire, it conduct electric current, and you know children, silver is the best conductor. Why we don't use silver? Because it is very expensive. And we cook food in metallic utensils. Why? They are good conductor of heat. And children, non-metals, they are not good conductor of heat and electricity. They are bad conductors of heat and electricity, but one exception is there, graphite. Okay, it is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Now next is sonorous. Sonorous means when we beat, most metal produce a ringing sound when struck. They are sonorous in nature, and non-metals, they are non-sonorous. Now next is melting point and boiling point. Okay, melting point and boiling point. Metals generally have high melting points and boiling points because they are solid in nature. If we want to melt them, we have to give them more heat. Okay, non-metals have low melting and boiling point. Clear to all of you? Low melting and boiling point. Next is specific gravity. Next is specific gravity. Metals, they have high specific gravities. Like iron is having 7.8, copper is 8.7, lead is 11.3, mercury is having 13.6, and gold is having 19.3. But exception, sodium and potassium, they have less specific gravity. Okay, their specific gravity is less than 1. And non-metals, they have low specific gravity. Okay. Now children, these physical properties are over. We are coming to the chemical properties. We will compare chemical properties of metals and non-metals together. Okay. First we will take up reaction with oxygen. Okay, metals, when they react with oxygen, they form metallic oxide. I am taking example of magnesium. When we take magnesium ribbon or wire, okay, and over a flame, after some time the magnesium burns with a dazzling flame, and after that what we will do, we will collect this white ash and of magnesium. This white ash is of magnesium oxide. Okay, this white ash is of magnesium oxide. This is white ash. Okay, when we dissolve this magnesium oxide in water, okay, it gives what? And dissolve this magnesium oxide in water, it forms magnesium hydroxide. Okay, it gives magnesium hydroxide. H2 is fine, here O2 is fine, MgST. Okay, and when we bring blue litmus paper to this magnesium hydroxide, we dip in magnesium hydroxide, the blue litmus paper turn into red. The red litmus paper will turn into blue, and that shows that the solution is base. Okay, this is clear. Okay, most metal react with oxygen to give basic oxides. Now we are coming to the non-metals. Here in non-metals I am going to take sulfur. Okay, we take sulfur in a spoon and we will burn this sulfur, means burning is taking place in the presence of oxygen. It will form sulfur dioxide. This sulfur dioxide, when we dissolve in water, same manner as we did with base, it will form what? Sulfurous H2SO3. And when we bring what? Red litmus paper, sorry, blue litmus paper, when we bring blue litmus paper and dip in this, it will turn into red. What it shows that this is acidic in nature. So we can say metallic oxide, they form bases, and acidic oxides, when they react with water, they form acids. Okay. Now reaction with water. When metals react, first I am going to discuss about metals. When metals react with water, they form oxides or hydroxides. And they react in different conditions, children. Conditions are very important to know. First, I am going to discuss sodium. Sodium is highly reactive matter. When it comes in contact of water, okay, it reacted and it forms sodium hydroxide and release what? Hydrogen gas. Okay, so hydroxide is formed and what it releases? Hydrogen gas. Second, we are coming to magnesium. When magnesium reacts with water, it gives magnesium oxide. This I told you, but condition is that here we have taken cold water because it is highly reactive. In case of magnesium, we have taken hot water and it is forming magnesium oxide and hydrogen gas. Okay, now come to the third one. Like the reaction of aluminum with water is very interesting, children. Okay, when aluminum react with water, we will balance it later on. Okay, it gives aluminum oxide Al2O3 and it releases hydrogen gas. Okay, and this it gets deposited as a thin layer on aluminum and prevent further reaction from taking place. Like this is a pot of aluminum. When we keep water and heat it, okay, so what will happen? A thin layer of aluminum oxide will take place and this is going to cover the aluminum and further reaction will not take place. Okay, now with the non-metals, they do not react with water. Okay, very reactive non-metals such as phosphorus, which catch fire when exposed to air. So that is why, children, phosphorus is stored in water. Okay, is this clear? Now reaction with, after water we are coming to reaction with acids. Now first we are going to discuss metals. Metals, they react with acids, yes. When metals react with acids, like sodium is highly reactive matter. Okay, when it reacts with acid, it gives salt and release hydrogen gas, NaCl, and release hydrogen gas. Okay, and we are going to balance this 2, 2, 2. So when metals react with acid, they like metal, sodium, potassium, they react vigorously or violently, we can say, and give what? Salt, and release hydrogen gas. But some metals, children, I told you about noble metals like gold, silver, gold, they do not react with metal, even copper also. Okay. Now we are coming to the end. Now non-metals, they do not react with acids, dilute acid. Now come to the reaction with bases. Reaction with bases, only some metals, they react with base like aluminum, zinc, and lead. They react with bases. Okay? Or only with the strong bases, not with dilute one. Okay? Such as they are going to react with sodium hydroxide. This is a strong base. Okay? They react with strong bases. And non-metals, they do not react with bases. Now we are coming to the children displacement reaction. Displacement reaction I will explain you in the next video. I am going to tell you more about aluminum reaction with acids, more reaction, like when iron react with hydrochloric acid, it gives FeCl2, iron chloride, and hydrogen gas. Okay. And next is aluminum. Aluminum react with hydrogen chloride, then it will give 2Al. Children, you know how to make formula. Last year in class 6 I have told you. So children, you also revise that, how to make formula when you write these equations. Okay. Now next is Mg. When magnesium react with sulfuric acid, it will give which salt? Magnesium sulfate. Okay. And hydrogen. So that's all, and in the next video I will tell you about displacement reaction. Thank you, children.